When I was in my 20s, I was kind of arrogant. Yeah, I was like, I kind of thought I was smarter than other people. Like, I'd be like, oh yeah, but they're not telling you this. I'd be kind of cynical. Oh yeah, I'd be like that for sure. Where did it come from? From feeling that I wasn't that great, you know? It comes from your past. It just comes from this big world out there and being disappointed and things not going your way and being pissed off about it. So you're just like, you kind of lash out at people. You're not a freaking sweetheart, you know? I wouldn't call myself a sweetheart back then. Did it have an impact? Sure it does. Sweethearts rule the world. Real sweethearts freaking rule the world. So I had to learn to become more that way. Now, if you're somebody that you're like, okay, she might be talking about me. It can be negative sometimes. Like, it's hard to see it in ourselves. It's really hard. But just know that you become a fighter because you've been disappointed and you've gotten a little bit hard. Because I felt like I had a disadvantage in life, right? I was freaking go-getter, pusher, all about myself, you know, aggressive. But inside, I thought that I was not that great, right? So I was trying to overcompensate for it, because if the truth in my mind was that I was not that great, that I was less than other people, that was actually the truth. So if that's the truth, then what kind of life am I going to have? It's going to be a shitty life. So therefore, I have to like cover it up and like prove the world and impress people. You know, I had to go get it and go after it, and fuck you if you get my way. Well, that's how some people that can be in the comments can be coming from that place. So I understand it really well. I really do. It's just that it doesn't work as well as realizing that, hey, you're creating that persona because you think that you have to be that way to be successful. Whereas you can really kind of drop all that because you are enough. You're enough. I was enough back then. You know, it's not so much about us, you guys. It's the energy we're putting out there in the world, you know? We're so much just like, oh, all about me. I got to make it in the world. How do I do it? How do I do it? What you don't realize is that how you do it is not thinking about yourself so much and trying to prove so much to the world and being pissed off at people or pissed off at the world or pissed off at the industry or, you know, all the problems, people trying to keep you out of the departments, everybody not, you know, letting you in, everybody not responding to your emails or your reel or whatever, and it's so hard and you just got, yeah, so it can seem like that's the reality. But it's just a different energy that makes it all happen. And I learned it because I lived it. And actually, I'm glad that I learned it, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be able to help you. There's a part in all of us that is like that, especially when you're 20s and your 30s, because you're just out there in this world trying to make something of yourself. And it's like, you know, it can feel like it's a disappointing place, you know, and you're scared. I know. And, you know, it's like, okay, well, I feel this way, but give me some answers. I know you want some answers. The best thing, and Gary Vee talks about this all the time, self-awareness. It'll help you a lot. You know, just by listening to this, I hope that it kind of opens you up a little bit to go like, okay, yeah, I can kind of relax because I'm okay. I don't have to be this super aggressive person, and I don't have to be disappointed and pissed off. It's not going to really help me. Instead, I can practice good energy and caring about other people and their careers, and I can drop some of this pissed offness about the film industry and people and having to have my opinion out there when it's negative or judging, you know, move the conversation forward. There's a thing in acting, yes and. Yes and is perfect. It's a good way to live your life. You know why? Because you're not saying, when somebody says something, you're like, well, here's the opposite side of it. You're like, yes, and you move the conversation forward. Yes, and. So you're adding to it. You're moving it forward. You're actually putting out some butterflies in the world instead of cockroaches. Yes, and. So when you talk to your mom or your dad and they say something you don't like, what you should say is, yes, and add on to it. You'll be surprised. When you say yes and, now you cannot come back with a snarky response. You have to actually move the conversation forward. So did you enjoy that? If so, go to breakinprofessionally.com and just sign up. It's free and you will learn a ton. Okay, have a great day, guys. Bye.